Benitez down here in South Florida.
Yep. Fight hard, fight clean, touch him up.
All right, here we go. Our co-main event. Christopher Young, the third man in the ring. Christina Poncher and Xander Sayas here with you. Thank you to everybody watching, our friends on Sky Sports in the UK and Ireland. A pleasure to have you with us here for our co-main event. Of course, still to come, Teofimo Lopez against Steve Claggett in the main event for the WBO 140-pound world title. And back in title contention is somewhere Robeisy Ramirez would love to be, but first, he has to get through Brandon El Leon Benitez, 21-2, 9 KOs. He's got a good resume. As I said, has a lot of experience as a professional. His only 2 losses have been by knockout, one of them at the hands of Saul Sanchez, but he says he's made a lot of adjustments, just feels that he's all around a better fighter since that loss. For Robeisy Ramirez, coming off his second loss of his career, that loss of Rafael Espinosa in what was a tremendous fight, one that he even feels like, you know, maybe he still could have got the nod in that fight, but nonetheless, he said, I learned a lot. I learned how to listen. I learned not to be stubborn, and I learned how much mental does affect the physical in the ring. When your mentality is not right and when there's distractions, you're not invincible. It will come out and show, and it did in that fight.
It will catch up to you. It will catch up to you because you have a lot of things going on, and you're already in the middle of the ring taking punches. So when your mentality is not there, you know, I always say that boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. You could be physically ready. You could you know, do all the job in the gym, but if your mentality is not there, then there's a problem.
And he said, you know, there was a time where we contemplated pulling out of that fight. His father was very ill. He had to leave camp, you know, many times to help attend to his father. And, you know, his manager went to visit him and didn't like what he saw, but it was 4 weeks out. He said, I still think that I have enough and I could still do this. And I don't want to pull out of the fight. And of course, hindsight, right? 2020, you look back and say, maybe I should.
Maybe I should have, yes.
He lost his world title that night. Not to take anything away from Espinosa.
No, for sure.
A spectacular performance that he put on that night, throwing over 1,000 punches. You know, but Robeisy Ramirez knew in his heart that he's better than what he showed that night. And that get back starts tonight against Benitez, who briefly touched the canvas there, but due to a slip, as we're a minute under round 1 here.
And that's something that I want to see from Ramirez. He said yesterday that one of the things that he learned after that fight is to learn to listen to the corner, to follow the game plan. That he was stubborn, he was hard-headed last time out and didn't listen. So I want to see that, you know, he follows the game plan, he follows Sal's instructions, and obviously the things that he sees take advantage of.
Nice double jab, left hand to the body from the southpaw Ramirez. And for Benitez, perfect preparation for Ramirez. His last 2 opponents were also southpaws, so this is his 3rd southpaw opponent in a row.
So he should be ready. He already should know the angles for a southpaw. I see him taking a lot of pictures, meaning
10 seconds.
feinting, but then staying right down the middle, and that's where Ramirez got to take advantage of.
Me gustó el primer asalto porque está.
Of course, they got to play this song with the transfer. Oh, you're going to translate? Okay, go for it, Xander.
Yes, I'm trying. I couldn't listen to the corner. I'm sorry. The music was too loud. The music was too loud. But I did hear Salas say that he liked the first round. That he was, you know, he was really good with that first round. They're saying right now, very smart. You gotta throw 2-3 punches. When he doesn't expect them, you gotta let them go.
So for the more high volume punching Benitez, when we showed you those punch stats earlier, it was Robeisy Ramirez who outthrew him in the first round, 34 punches to 19 in that round. And it was a lot of work off the double jab and then straight shots to the body Nearest where he kind of rolled that front ankle, that left ankle, and that side step there in round one. We'll have to see if that plays a part. And actually, that's something that Espinoza had to deal with in his last fight. He actually hurt his ankle in that fight.
And you see that a lot against, southpaw and a righty. Just that fight for the outside angle. You're always going to see each other stepping on each other or trying to take that foot away just to get that angle for the right hand or the rear hand for Robeisy Ramirez.
That ideal position to have that front foot on the outside of your opponent is...
You could take advantage of a lot of things there.
You just fought a southpaw.
I just fought a southpaw, yes.
Dominant performance there.
And you could also see what just happened, a lot of head clashes because the head is so close, and when you take that angle, we lean forward, we clash head most of the time. So we're gonna see a lot of that, a lot of stepping on each other and a lot of head clashes.
Nice counter left hand there from Robeisy Ramirez.
And Benitez needs to start getting active. He's throwing in ones, and that's the pace that Ramirez wants to fight. There you go. 2s and 3s. I feel is was going to get the job done for Benitez. And Ramirez got to execute in between those shots. He opens up. Benitez opens up a lot with those hooks. So he got to capitalize and throws in between, maybe underneath, work the body a little bit.
Yeah, and there he goes down to the body, kind of on the belt line there of Robeisy, who, little game of cat and mouse here, trying to bait in Benitez, who lands a hard right hand right to the chest, and then down to the body with the left hand.
And I just heard Salas telling him, don't stay down in the middle, don't stay straight down in the middle. Use the angles.
Keep him up, keep him up.
But you can see the experience, you can see all the amateur background for Robeisy Ramirez. He take that little step back when he doesn't see anything, reset, make Benitez reset, and then go back and throw his combinations when he feels he's comfortable to throw. Benitez is just being an easy target right now, staying straight down the middle, working nice the body, but he knows, Ramirez knows with all the experience that he has, that Benitez is going to be there.
And that experience that Xander's referring to, not just in his 15 professional fights, but the hundreds of fights he had as an amateur, and of course a two-time Olympic gold medalist.
10 seconds, Jimmy, 10 seconds.
Nice body shot. As Teofimo Lopez gets stretched out there in the locker room, his fight coming up next against Steve Claggett, where he's going to defend his WBO junior welterweight world title. First title shot for Steve Claggett, first 12-round main event in his career. As he gets warmed up with Eye of the Tiger Promotions behind him, he said, I felt like a solo shark in the ocean before getting signed with a big promotional company. Of course, being from Canada, and Eye of the Tiger Promotions does a fantastic job. And he fought an opponent twice, and he was like asking the opponent's team, like, how did you beat me? Like, how did you do this? And then ends up taking on the new team of a previous opponent.
That's something that I've never heard before. I mean, I've seen it before, but never heard it in person, so he's amazing to hear those stories.
Yeah, and I mean, all they've done is win ever since they got together and get signed with a promotional company. He's getting active, he's getting dates. He just says, you know where you belong, and it changes your confidence and mentality as a fighter. As a shot in the toolbox there of a punch to the wrist, if you will, of Benitez. Oh, good combination. Beautiful work here in round 3 for Robeisy Ramirez. Sharp shots.
And just like I said, that was just working in between the shots of Benitez. Knowing that Benitez is going to come wide, he needs to work in between and down the middle. And he got him with a nice right hand.
Benitez looking to return fire back down to the body.
I would like to see some more frames from Robeisy just to pull something out of Benitez. And Benitez, I would like him to start off with the jab a little bit. He's coming up with the hooks, and Ramirez already expecting it, ducking down. Nice body work there by Benitez.
Oh, nice right hand, that lead jab hand for Ramirez through the guard of Benitez. He goes right back again, Xander, to the body with the hooks.
Yes. Body work for Benitez is going to be key on this fight. He's going to slow everything down for him, and he's going to maybe stop Ramirez from taking those angles that he likes to take. And there you see Ramirez giving him something to keep him busy, to think that he's going to throw hard, and just giving him that left hand, that easy left hand, to then come back with that combination.
Yes. And that time starting it down low to the body, getting the opponent to bring his hands down, and then shooting it up top with the
Yes, and that's what you also call change the tempo of your punches. Change the tempo of your punches, making your opponent fall asleep, thinking that, oh, he's tired, or he's just not throwing hard, and then you come back with hard punches.
Something you actually admitted that you wanted to do better in your last fight, right?
Yes, something that I wanted to do in my last fight that I didn't do was that, just change the tempo of my punches. You see it here with Ramirez. You see just punching, just touching him, getting him busy to then unload the power shots. And that's what Benitez needs to do. He needs to slip 1 or 2 punches and come back with his combination. If he stays down in the middle, it's going to be an easy night for Robeisy Ramirez. He knows where Benitez is going to be all the time. There he needs to work. There he needs to work with Ramirez. That's it. Nice body work. Nice body work. But he also needs to change the tempo of his shots, because Ramirez knows that Benitez is throwing everything hard, so he's already expecting. He's just pulling those elbows in, taking those shots, and countering in between.
An abrasion on the bridge of the nose for Benitez, as he's taken a lot of punches here in round 3. Robeisy giving Benitez some of his own medicine with the output. Let's listen in the corner.
La amenaza, hay que seguir con las maniobras. Si te está dando resultados, ¿por qué vamos a cambiar?
With the game plan. If it's giving you
Tú le estás
results,
metiendo
why
la
change
mano
it?
cuando hace la maniobra. Si te queda parado, él te va a
If he
tirar.
if he stands straight up, you got to hit him with that left hand or that right hand. Don't change the game plan. And there you see it, right down the middle. Just knowing that Benitez is gonna come wide with his shots. Got him right down the middle.
Que te le va a pegar a que él no pueda sacar la mano izquierda. Pero sigue con la maniobra, Robeisy.
You gotta keep the game plan.
Esta pelea es más habilidad que otra cosa.
This fight is more dignity than anything else.
Para que le esté fallando. Y tú lo contraatacaste en ella, fue mejor de bajar las manos. Porque le anulaste el contraataque. Es lo que tienes que hacer, ¿ok?
If you counter him and he drops his hands, you gotta throw in between. Why you're stopping? There's no reason to stop. Great instruction from both corners, I think. That was just great instruction for Ramirez's side to not change the game plan. If it's working, don't try to fix it. I mean, if it's working, don't try to fix it. And for Benitez to get more busy in the inside when Ramirez is not throwing, he got to let the hands go. And there we see great combination right down the middle for Ramirez that put Benitez in trouble for a little bit in that last round. And great feints. That's a key to victory for me for Robeisy Ramirez. He needed to use the feints just to draw something out of Benitez, and he did it there. Benitez just didn't bite on it.
I think what surprises me the most, although he got caught with the shot there, is Robeisy actually outthrowing Benitez at this point. I mean, he's thrown 155 punches to 100 of Benitez, and it was, you know, in the research on the tape and even the stats that we got ahead of time, it was how much Benitez throws over the featherweight limit and how he would outthrow Ramirez, and that hasn't been the case at least through the first 3 rounds.
That hasn't been the case. I also think that for a lot of these Mexican warriors, the fights start after that 4th, 5th round. They start letting the hands go. They start warming up, and now you see Benitez throwing a lot more shots. But Ramirez is responding right down the middle. You know, he's staying there. He's punching back. I don't know if it's the right game plan. I don't know if that's what they wanted to work on. But Benitez now is coming on. Ramirez is still sharp, throwing down the middle. That's it, you know, making him fall asleep again, once again. Just throwing punches to make Benitez think that he's not throwing hard and then come with the hard shots.
There's a body shot, nice
with
little
a nice angle. With a nice angle to the body.
And then return fire from Ramirez as he goes from offense to defense soundly, then right back again. Great counter over the top.
He tried it there. He tried it there. Couldn't time it the right way, but he tried it. Kind of like that Emiliano Vargas knockout, where he timed that jab from his opponent. And I feel like that's where Benitez needs to work. He's got to let his punches go. When he's in there, he needs to sit down in his punches and work that body. Nice left hand from Ramirez, and great response to the body from Benitez.
10 seconds.
Oh, nice combination down the middle. Nice combination down the middle. And I feel that body work from Benitez is paying dividends now. You know, we saw Ramirez slow down a little bit. You know, staying more in the middle, getting hit a bit more. But Ramirez has to go back to his game plan, follow the corner. They're telling him, you're staying right in front of him. You hit him, you throw your combinations, you gotta take an angle. You cannot stay in front of him. This is a fight of ability. Every time you can knock him out, every time you stay with your ability, every time you stay with your pose, with the game plan. We gotta throw with more bad intentions. We gotta throw with more bad intentions.
As we get to round 5. What's been impressive is the amount of punches that Robeisy has thrown. He's and landed at 31%, but maybe even more so, taking a quick look at the CompuBox numbers, he's only allowed Benitez to land 11% of his shots. He has thrown 148 punches, has only landed 17. Robeisy has landed 12 just to the body alone. He's landed more jabs than Benitez total punches.
But now I feel like he also knows, Ramirez knows, that he could keep that fight after his last fight. He could keep that firefight where he could throw and not get tired. I feel like that last fight he wasn't so used to it. Now in his mind he knows, and you know, it's impressive what we find out after doing something that we could do.
Watch you out of that. Watch you out of that.
I remember when I went 10 rounds for the first time in sparring, I was actually surprised I went 10 rounds. Never in my life I've been 10 rounds. And now I see 10 rounds as just 10 rounds. Just some rounds in the bag.
Staying active, letting his hands go is Robeisy Ramirez.
Nice right hook right there from Ramirez, coming off an angle.
I was gonna say, he just changed the trajectory of that shot, and you know, the punch selection and variation that he has to choose from, right? He has a very big arsenal of weapons that he can use, and I think that's something that's maybe underappreciated or undervalued about his game, is just the variety of shots that he has that he can execute well.
Yes, definitely something that a lot of people don't see or pay attention to. He's really good at changing the angle of the punch while he's already out, while he's already on the way. He can change that trajectory, and it's impressive. Not a lot of fighters could do that. Nice body work by Benitez there. We can just see now, you know, Ramirez is probably slowing down a bit more, not as active in his feet, but he goes back to that body work that Benitez is throwing. They told him in the corner to throw with bad intentions. Some of those shots might be at the bell, and that's why the referee is telling him to bring it up. But it's definitely stopping Ramirez a little bit to be an easier target. Nice right hand down the middle. Put the towel in the back.
Que estés adentro, pero tirando bien. Él hasta se avienta.
I need you to be in the inside, but I need you to be throwing.
Tú dejas que se te dime, doy un pasito.
Tiene que tratar. Porque
Ramirez
tú sí puedes hacer la cosa difícil a la fácil.
You gotta try to stop making things difficult. You gotta make them easy.
La táctica de ellos es empezar a apretar ahora.
He's gonna start getting harder now. So you gotta.
Tu habilidad, él se va a parar.
If you start taking your abilities to the next level and keep following the game plan, he's gonna stop. But if not, he's gonna keep coming.
And if we look back really quick at when Nico Ali Walsh kind of hit his shoulder there, we got an update. And in fact, doctors backstage had to reset his shoulder. It was indeed dislocated, and he is headed to the emergency room for follow-up, just to probably do some x-rays and make sure that there's no further damage. But indeed a dislocated left shoulder for Nico Ali Walsh in our last fight. And hopefully not too much collateral damage from that, but he's going to have to rest up for some time. And I know him personally, he does not like taking days off or resting. That's going to be really hard for him.
And it doesn't sound fun at all. It doesn't sound fun having to take days off. And obviously, coming out of an injury is something that you have to do. And as a fighter, I know we don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like taking a couple weeks off because of something that happened during a fight. So yeah, I just hope for a speedy recovery.
Hope for the best. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we get to the second half of this fight now, and this is when Salas told Robeisy in the corner, okay, this is now really where the work's going to begin. And it's interesting to see how both of these fighters, they both fought on the same night, different cards, 203 days ago. That's kind of a long time to be out of the ring, and it is in fact the longest layoff for Robeisy in his professional career. Not that he's never in good shape or his conditioning has come into question, but uncharted territory as far as this much time out of the ring and coming back. So
it's something new for him, and I was a bit wary coming into the fight, knowing that he has never taken so long of a layoff. But right now he's looking sharp. He's looking good. I just think he's getting away from the game plan, away from what was working in the beginning of the rounds. And now Benitez is looking to up that pace. He's looking to up that pace. All the Mexican warriors do it. I remember when I was in sparring, getting ready for a fight against Roberto Valenzuela. I had a great veteran in sparring partners, and they used to come on round 6, 7, 8, and he was like, man, round 1 through 4, you wasn't throwing. What is going on now?
How are you getting stronger? Yeah. And the knockouts that he's got in his career, he has only 9 knockouts in 21 fights, but his last few have been round 6, round 7, and then he got an early knockout in round 3.
Watch the push.
But just with his punch output, he continues to kind of outwork his opponents, but not today so much, as Robeisy Ramirez still throwing more punches in totality through the first 5, now almost 6 rounds in the bag. Popping the head back there of Benitez.
And Ramirez got to go back to throwing in combinations. When he was throwing in combinations, he was hurting Benitez. He was making Benitez think about going in or throwing body shots. Now he's throwing in once. He's trying to land that big shot. And it's a lot harder for a warrior like Benitez to go down with one when he can see it coming.
Good body work there for Benitez in that round.
Yes. Going back to what his corner said, when you're in the inside, you need to work. You need to let the hands go. And that's what he did in this round.
Okay. Toma aire. Estamos bien.
Take some air. I lost time. Nice left hand there. He tried it, but he couldn't get the timing right. And Benitez also saw it coming and kind of rolled with it. But nice setup. Taking that angle to the outside of Benitez's right hand. Let's go. You gotta throw. Don't let them take advantage. You gotta fight now.
You talked about in the last round, Xander, wanting to see Robeisy Ramirez, you know, still continue the activity and the work rate. What about for Benitez? What do you like to see him do here to maybe turn more of these rounds his way?
I feel like Benitez right now is doing a great job working the body. Maybe you know, bringing it back to the head. You know, he's spending a lot of time to the body, but not so much to the head. You know, you bring those hands down, you gotta capitalize on it and start bringing those shots up top.
That last round was a little more even in terms of output, and I'm not exactly sure what to attribute that to, but
the body work, the body work that Benitez has been putting in, he started to take some out of you, and now Ramirez in that last round started throwing just in ones instead of combination. Now this round he started throwing in combinations again, which makes a lot of the fight easier because you have Benitez thinking. But Benitez is coming on. Like I said, he's a Mexican warrior. The second half of the fight, he's going to throw punches. It's not going to give you an easy fight. He's not going to let you just beat him. For Benitez, he knows. He wins this fight, it's probably a world title next. Same thing for Ramirez.
Yeah, he would love that shot at Espinosa, wouldn't he?
Yes. But Ramirez needs to start working in angles. Ramirez needs to start working in angles and in combination. And Benitez needs to continue doing what he's doing. Keep working that body. Keep attacking those arms. They get tired after a couple rounds. You know, you have to hold those 8 ounces. Yeah, they sound like 8 ounces and they sound light, but you still got to hold them up. And when you're getting hit to the arms, it gets tiring.
And they still hurt, and you can see this head snap back of Benitez there with a few of those punches from Ramirez as he goes back to utilizing some of those feints and throwing a shot like that. Not following it up with much, but there,
nice feint and
that's
nice
what you
angle.
wanted.
Yes, nice feint and nice angle. And that's it. It goes back to having the ability to change that angle, to get away from what wasn't working. You know, at the beginning of the fight, you saw all the angles, you saw all the shots from different perspectives. And now, you know, as the fight went on, he stopped doing that. So he got to get back to that.
Oh, wow! What an uppercut from Robeisy Ramirez!
Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
8, 9, 10.
And the fight is over! Emphatic finish for Robeisy Ramirez, and Benitez is still down on the canvas.
That was an amazing setup down the middle. Nice rear uppercut. Benitez didn't see it coming.
I mean, like a Pez dispenser, just snapped his head back.
He probably grew a couple inches after that.
As he poses for the pick. And look, he was a heavy favorite coming into this fight. It was a fight, you know, he wanted to fight with Espinosa. He said, let's match you with another, you know, one of the other guys ranked in the division. But he was getting into a rhythm at the beginning of this round, working on those angles like you talked about, picking his shots.
That angle to the outside, coming up the middle, He knew Benitez was going to be there. But again, he goes back to what was working. In the beginning of the fight, the angles were working. He got away from it in the middle of the rounds, got back to it, and got a spectacular knockout.
Just a nasty uppercut. And I mean, in all actuality, his back was to us, and I could tell by the way that Benitez, like, I did not actually see the uppercut from the angle that you and I are sitting, but you could tell by the way Benitez's head went back.
Yeah, the way he lifted up, we knew it was an uppercut. That was a great shot off the angle. Just getting away from all the punches coming from Benitez. That was a spectacular knockout. And a spectacular fight from Benitez too. Let's not take anything away from Benitez. Benitez was a great fighter. He put on a hell of a fight when he was doing his game plan. He was you know, following what the coaches were telling him, to work the body, to not wait for Ramirez to fight. It was great. It was a great fight.
Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside James L. Knight Center in Miami, this bout comes to a conclusion at 2 minutes, 46 seconds of round number 7 for your winner by knockout. And the new NABO featherweight champion, Robeisy Ramirez.
All right, so he's got the NABO belt, not the one that he really wants, but more importantly, back in the win column for Robeisy Ramirez. And he